Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Agents in the Trenches. And I am super excited to be here bringing this live episode of Agents in the Trenches where we are talking about the real life struggles of real estate agents in this new market. And I'm joined by my running partner and my co host on this new innovative platform that we brought together to just really bring down the nitty gritty of what we know agents are facing. And how do we know these things? Because we're talking to agents, because we're connecting with agents, we're meeting them where they're at, because we are, out there in the trenches ourselves and we are gauging the temperature of the market. This is not something that we are listening to podcasts, which are good, or video casts, which are good, or reading the latest and greatest book, which we are, but that's not what it's based on. It's really us getting out there and speaking with the buyers, the sellers, gauging the temperature of the market. And so today I want to allow my running partner to introduce herself. As always, you're becoming a well-known name. So tell everyone who you are.
Hey guys, it's Talia with Q International. This is year 2 of me being an agent in the trenches, and it's been a wild ride, but fun, right? Adventurous. I've learned so
Yes.
much in the past 2 years, and it's crazy because it feels like it's been longer than that. These 2 years, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it feels like the longest 2 years ever.
It's crazy, and probably a lot of people feel that way. But then when we look back, we're already in April. And it seems like just yesterday we were celebrating Christmas and New Year's. So,
Yeah.
fast forward, the question is what are agents doing to stay afloat, number one, in this new market? And how are they navigating these uncharted waters? Because let me tell you, we were talking about it yesterday. Right now, mentorship is everything, and building your skill sets is everything. You're not going to be able to survive this market, and you're not going to thrive in this market if you don't have the skill sets. So, what could you say on that note?
So, the most recent conversation I had with an agent, I asked them that very question is, okay, what are you experiencing? Because they came to me with some questions about something related to, the contracts and whatnot. And I had asked, so what do you know? What do you know about the contract? What has your, broker, your team leader has taught you about it? And they said nothing. They were like, nothing. I know what I know. I've used it. I've tried to figure it out myself, but never really got real training on it. So it was pretty interesting to hear that because, I mean, this agent has closed transactions before, but maybe they were just winging it, and that's not the best. We know, what was it? Winners don't wing.
Winners don't wing it, and wingers don't win it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that was pretty interesting. I was feeling a little sad for that agent at that moment, but that's what we're seeing.
Absolutely. And you know what? And so for people that are watching this and saying, well, what do you mean you were helping an agent put a contract together and their broker was not helping them? Is their broker Lucy Quinones? Absolutely not, right?
Hmm.
So I want to make that really clear. I'm not that person's broker or coach or mentor or leader, but we have started with agents that have raised their hand and reached out to me, and I've connected them with Talia because Talia is a certified mentor, and we have decided to help our own, to help those that are raising their hands and saying, "Could you help me?" Because it's sad. It's sad. It's hard. It's painful when you're not getting for whatever reason. I'm not going to bash anybody, and I'm not going to down talk any broker, but for whatever reason, and this agent has been in the industry for over a year, so why doesn't this agent know anything about contracts? And so what's going on? But let's just say that the brokers are also treading water. Let's say that the brokers are also under a lot of pressure. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that the brokers right now, are bearing a huge load because they have the risk, the liability, the overhead. And so maybe they are not able to give their agents the support and guidance and direction that they need. Nonetheless, that's where the real struggles of real estate in this new market come in for real estate agents, because you only have a limited time to put a contract in on a property and win the offer, win the deal. So it's not like time is on the side of the agent, number one. And number two, like I've always said it in my coaching, if you are going to prepare when the opportunity arises, it's too late. So let's drop that in the chats. If you're watching live, give us hashtag live. If you are watching on a replay, go ahead and give us hashtag replay. But help me activate the chat, and let's drop some love and some hearts, and let's keep the engagement going. So yes, so you are doing mentorship, and we've opened it up as well for agents that are not part of Q International, that are not part of my organization. So what else what other things have you seen are those pain points that agents are confronting right now?
They just don't have someone that's like ready to answer their questions when they have it. I just keep hearing that, oh, my broker's too busy, or they're doing something else. They're going to get back to me later on in the day. And like you were just mentioning, maybe that agent doesn't have, that time. Maybe it's just, it's urgent and they still have to wait. So I think, not having that person, that go-to person that can answer your questions right now at that moment is another struggle. And it's a big one that I'm seeing as well.
Absolutely. And time is of the essence. So if you are out there and you're going to wait to prepare and learn how to do what you need to do, when the buyer or the seller reach out to you and say, hey, you know what, I want to buy this house. If that's when you're going to get ready, if that's when you're going to prepare, you're going to be too late. You're always going to be behind the eight ball. That's where mentorship comes in. Tell us a little bit about what you have learned, right, through our relationship for the last 24 months, the value of mentorship is.
Yeah. So I believe like being a mentor, it serves as like being a role model, right? You have to show what you expect other people to do, right? And then you got to teach them. So I think you have been an incredible role model for me, and I've been able to lean on you for questions for a while. And you've also connected me. I mean, this mentorship has been amazing because you've also connected me with your own network of people when you didn't have the answer to that question, or you knew someone that can answer it better. I mean, you were able to say, hey, let me give you this contact, reach out to them, let them kind of give you a little bit of a breakdown of what you need. And so that has been extremely valuable in itself, connecting me with your network of people or your contacts that you built out throughout the years.
And that is so important that you mentioned that, because a lot of times people think that a mentor is just there to be a 411 operator, like ask questions. And a lot of times people don't understand. I mean, in all fairness, people don't understand that being a trainer is one thing. Sometimes people just, you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of times people don't have the clear concept that a trainer is one thing, a mentor is something else, and a coach is something very different. All three are not the same. And I think that in our industry, for lack of knowing what we don't know, right? People think, oh, a trainer, a mentor, and a coach. And so a lot of times maybe they are in an organization where they've been promised, hey, I'm going to give you training, mentorship, and coaching. But do they really understand the difference, right? Do they really understand the difference?
And that's a good point, because I didn't understand it for a while too, until I became, you helped me become a certified mentor. So can you break that down for the people that maybe don't know the difference between a mentor, a trainer, and a coach?
And I'm glad to do that. So the number one thing that we need to understand is that training is giving you the information. When you have a trainer is going to give you the information that you need to know, so that you are prepared when the time arises. A mentor is a person that is going to guide you in implementing that information. Because a lot of times people have information, but they have no implementation. It's kind of like riding in the car as a passenger. Has it ever happened to you that you're riding in the car and you're in the front seat and you are watching where the driver is going, but you have no clue how you got to where your destination was, because you were the passenger. You were not implementing, right? So the trainer is the one that is in the driver's seat giving the information. The mentor is the one that shows a person, an agent in this case, how to implement that. That the guide. Here's how you do it. Here's what you do. And then the coach is the one that shows the person the how to do it. Okay, so one thing is getting information, that's a trainer. Another thing is getting the implementation of that, right? But the other thing is, as a coach, the how to, the shortcuts, the guidance, the support, the navigating those uncharted waters and not knowing how to bob and weave. So think of boxing. The coach is right there in the ring, but he's saying bob, bob, punch, uppercut, left hook, whatever, right? Because the
Yeah.
coach is the one that knows exactly how to bring those negotiating skill sets, how to save the deal, how to take a right, how to take a left, when to bob, when to weave, what is it going to take for you to keep this deal alive? And most of all, the coach's responsibility is to support the protege, per se, when they're finding themselves lost, right? So a lot of times agents are so far in the woods. You're so far in the woods, you don't see the trees. But the coach has already navigated that forest. And the coach knows exactly where to turn in that forest and what path to take. And a lot of times people say, well, I'm not going to pay a coach all that money to show me how to do something. You're not paying a coach money to show you how to do it. You're paying a coach money for their years of expertise, experience, for getting you where you want to go faster and helping you avoid all the potholes and all the red flags that you would have to go through. So instead of, and a lot of times you and I have spoken about this, I said, Talia, you just learned what took me over 4 years to learn, right? Or what would take an agent in our market 4 years to learn. I had the privilege of having a mentor, a trainer, and a coach as well. So I learned, in half the time. In 15 years, I learned what it took him 35 years to learn.
Wow.
Right? So how fast do you want to get to your destination? Or you could be a lone wolf and take the long way home. And a lot of times just get lost in the wilderness. Just get lost in the wilderness because you may not find your way back. You may not find your way back. So that's really important. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges that agents are having right now, is not even knowing the difference between a trainer, a mentor, and a coach. And who do I go to? And how do I select a good trainer, a good mentor, or a good coach? And what is it that they're going to teach me? So what you don't know will hurt you. Let's drop that in the chat. What you don't know will hurt you. A lot of times we hear the cliche, oh, what you don't know won't hurt you. Well, in real estate, what you don't know will hurt you, because it's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you time, and time is money. And right now, time is everything. And there's agents out there losing deals left and right. Do you know how much money is lost every time an agent loses an average sale deal?
I would say anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000.
At least I would round it up and say $10,000, because chances are that if you're losing a deal, the time you spent in putting that deal together and then losing it really costs you 2 deals.
Oh, yeah.
It really costs you 2 deals. First of all, a lot of agents get into something called one-deal-itis, right? One-deal-itis. That's, I got one deal and I stopped doing everything because I'm babysitting that one deal. My life depends on that one deal. I'm hanging from a thread. So I'm putting all my efforts into that one deal. So if you're putting all your efforts into that one deal and that one deal dies, you really lost 2 deals, maybe 3. So I would round it up to $10,000 for every deal that you lose, every opportunity to win that you lose. So think about it. How many agents are out there lost, right? Confused, feeling down and out? I was in a meeting a little earlier, and there's a lot of agents going through a lot of struggle, and their ego does not allow them to raise their hand. So kudos to those agents that raise their hand. Kudos to those agents that just strip themselves of ego and say, hey, I want to learn what you guys are doing. Hey, I want to know what you guys are doing. Tell me more about what you guys are doing and how that can help me. And that's the idea right now.
I want to go back to something you said about the one-deal-itis. Today in the Coach Burt session, he mentioned about what he said. Don't take too long celebrating, because I think that's also what happens as well, right? They close a deal and then they want to celebrate for 3 weeks or something like that,
Oh my gosh, that will go down in history, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Look at the players. I always, the game of real estate. Let's drop this in the chat, those of you that are helping me behind the scenes. Real estate is a game, and you got to learn how to play it like a champion. Real estate is a game, and you have to learn how to play it like a champion. Everybody knows the Super Bowl, right? Everybody can relate. Even if you're like me, you watch, 10 minutes of the Super Bowl when it gets the most interesting, right?
Yeah.
You know more or less how the game is played. Tell me how long the quarterback and his team or his playmates celebrate when they score a touchdown during the Super Bowl. How long do they celebrate?
I I have no idea.
They don't. They move on to the next touchdown.
Wow.
Think about it. What would happen? So what would happen? So imagine this, or if you watch baseball, right? And you've got the batter, and he bats a home run, and all bases are full, and that home run just brings everybody in, right? I mean, they just threw it out of the ballpark, and they're in the middle of the game. They're in the smack dab middle of playing for the championship. Let me ask you this. How long should they stop and celebrate for?
They can't. They have to keep going.
Hello. It's time to do it again. It's time to do it again. It's time. If I'm on a winning streak, and this is the problem with agents, they don't understand that real estate is a game. They don't understand the number of real estate is a numbers game. They don't understand the numbers of real estate. They don't understand the numbers in their real estate business. They don't even know that real estate is a game. And so they get one deal, right? And now they want to stop and celebrate for 3 weeks, 3 months. And hello, what's going to happen when your pipeline runs dry? And that's the biggest struggle that I see agents, not only in this new market. Listen to me straight. I've been doing this since the year 2000. I suffered from one-deal-itis. I am a recovering, rehabilitated person from having one deal close and wanting to, stop and relax. And it's springtime. When you are on a winning streak, it's like get up and bat again. Bam, bat it out of the ballpark. Get up and bat again. You're on a winning streak. Come on, let's go. You don't see champions. Let's think about boxing, right? I don't care if I don't know about any games, but I've watched enough of them to kind of like get the idea. You're boxing, you knock down your opponent. How long are you going to stop and celebrate for? You can't. You got to keep going until you win the fight. And that's called grit. That's called buckle up, buttercup. It's time to win the championship. And so a lot of times people may say, so when do I stop? Well, if this is your career, first of all, you don't think of stopping. But if you are in business for yourself, think of it. If you spend $250,000 to open up a Taco Bell, and you're the owner, and you're the only one running the place because you don't have the revenue, right, to hire staff, how long would you shut down your Taco Bell? I don't know why I say Taco Bell. It just came to my mind. But I don't need Taco Bell. How long would you shut down for vacation?
You can't shut down for vacation. You're not going to produce any money.
I would say at least not after 3 years. So let me tell you what my mentor told me. He goes, Lucy, when an agent is serious about their business and they get into real estate with a clear mindset that this is my business and I'm going to build my financial independence through this business, they shouldn't even be thinking about a vacation for the first 36 months. But in real estate, that's all we want to think about is time off. I've been working so hard. I mean, you would think that we are like working a factory job. You would think that realtors sometimes are like working, the coal mine, where you're literally shoveling and drilling holes into a gold mine or a land mine. I mean, you think that this is like construction work. Have you guys seen those landscapers? I live in a community. Man, those landscapers, they
They
grind.
work. Yeah.
And sometimes I hear real estate agents talk about, man, I've been working so hard. And I'm like, okay, so what are you building? So I don't know. Do you see that out there? Because I know I look at things from a different
I
perspective.
know. I think going back to what you're saying between the physical aspect, and I think it's more of a mental thing, because you're not physically there, waving a hammer or whatever. But I think mentally it does take a lot of brain power. So at the end of the day, you might feel just as fatigued as somebody who was physically working. Now, that's where mental toughness comes into play. You have to be battling that, because you can easily tell yourself, I worked a long day today. I was nonstop. Tomorrow I'm gonna take it off. But no, you actually need to now be like priming your brain to do it all over again, because like Coach Burt says, it resets every day, right? The stuff you do today is gonna reset at 12, and you gotta do it again tomorrow. So I
Did you
think
hear what Coach Burt said today? How often does he take a day off?
he doesn't take any days off.
He says, I hardly take days
Yeah.
off. And he's running a $10 million coaching operation. And if somebody's making $10 million in anything that you're doing, then you deserve a break today. But he says, I'm on to my next game.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean, because I know a lot of people that are going to watch this on replay or that are watching live, it's like, yeah, but you got to have balance. Let me tell you how balance works in the entrepreneurial world, the world of the millionaires, the world of the top producers, the world of, people that have built financial independence. Balance is called, there are going to be times where I have to work my butt off, no break, no time off, so that I can do short term what others will not be able to do long term. That's balance. Because there's no balance in having a 9 to 5. There's no balance in living paycheck to pay. You want to talk about balance? Let's balance your bank account. Let's balance your checkbook. That is, I remember when I didn't even want to look at my bank account. I didn't even want to look at my checkbook. It was depressing. So I come from there. I come from being broke, busted, and disgusted. So to me, balance right now is not about I've been working 10 weeks straight or I've been working 3 months. Actually, I'm going on, oh my goodness, I'm going on 9 months. 9 months without taking a break, without taking a vacation.
Wow.
I've gone away for work. But you know what? You take moments of rest.
Hmm.
You don't need a weekend. You need a moment, because I'm working on something. I'm building something. I'm going somewhere. I'm in it to win it. I'm focused on my bullseye. I'm facing my contender. I'm facing my opposition. I'm going to win this. Watch out, because here I come. And so when you have that mindset, balance is found in doing short term what others will not be able to do long term. So how bad do you want it? Because everybody wants to be a millionaire, right? Everybody gets into real estate. I've trained over 6,500 agents in the last, since 2012. I've hired hundreds of agents, and every time I ask them, so how much money do you want to make? I want to make 6 figures. That's kind of like the lingo that they all learn in real estate school. I want to make 6 figures, right? So let me ask you this. To make 6 figures, is it going to take grit? Is it going to take consistency? Is it going to take commitment? Is it going to take coachability? Is it going to take stick-to-itiveness? Or is it going to take one-deal-itis?
That's going to take all of that, but not one-deal-itis. Remove that. No, celebrate. You got to say, he mentioned about, who was it, Michael Jordan? that he win a game and he would just celebrate that night and then back to practicing
Back to
and doing.
practicing the same day. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, I mean, you have to build that grit. You have to build that inner strength. And what you're saying is absolutely true. Let me tell you something. The younger you are in real estate, the less stamina you have. So overwhelm kicks in faster, stress kicks in faster, frustration kicks in faster, mental weakness kicks in faster. You're not as strong. But that's exactly why you got to push through.
Yeah.
Because when you're 3 years old, somebody steps on your foot, you're on the floor, fainted, crying up a storm. You're 3 years old. Somebody just stepped on your foot. When you are 30 years old, somebody stepped on your foot and you're like, ouch. You suck it up and you continue, right? You do what you. So, yes, what you are saying about the struggle of agents right now and their mental weakness, it's true. It's a fact. But you have to acknowledge it, and that's where you have to build that mental toughness. That's where you got to get strong in your stamina, your mental stamina. That's where you got to get clear. When you're not clear on where you and you know what, and let me just say this, I just got to say this. If you're surrounded by weak links, you're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. If you are
Yeah,
surrounded by whiny Mickey Mouse, belly aching, Debbie Downers, nagging Nancy's, everything is, depression mode, you're done. You need to be around winners, man. You need to get around like the people we were with on. Listen, if I jump in a car, and I drive 2.5 hours and leave my comfort zone called my home and my territory at 6:30 in the morning to show up in Fort Lauderdale at 9 a.m. because I want to be surrounded by some of the top producing agents in the nation because I want to see how they play. I want to see how they go down. I want to see how they, stack up. What's everybody else doing? And I'm the broker and I'm the CEO and I don't even compete, right? Because I got multiple companies, but I know where I want to go. I know where I want to lead my people. I know who I want to be in this market. I know what I want to be able to give. And what happened yesterday? Talia, what happened yesterday when you and I were visiting that for sale by owner and I got a text message from a person that I met on Friday and we ended up getting what?
Oh, yeah, we got a referral.
We got a referral
Yeah.
from the host of that event. So you know what? If you're too big and bad to still want to sit down and learn, then you're too big and bad to build more business and lead other people. So yeah, we went over there and the host of the event reached out to me because I took the time to develop relationship. I took the time to connect. I took the time to introduce myself. I'm intentional about what I do. And that's why winners don't wing it. And the people that wing it are not going to win it. And yesterday, I got a text. What did I do? Here you go, Talia. Reach out to this person. They want to buy. They got 150K to put down. Let's make it happen. This is the world we need to create. These are the conversations I want to have. And so this is what I'm building. I don't want traditional real estate. I don't want the dog-eat-dog frenemy world. I'm not part of that anymore. That's not me. I'm done. I close that chapter.
Yeah. It's tough, and I think it's going to get tougher if you don't take the necessary steps, like you're saying, to improve yourself. We keep talking about summer of skill set because that's really what it's going to take. So, and I was thinking about something before we end the live. I was thinking about something the other day, and I think, it's for my generation, right? We were introduced to technology and, we still played outside. I'm just going to put that out there. We played outside. We had some good times, but now I think as we, discover the generations to come, it's going to get a little bit tougher with the communications and the connecting to people. I know someone who she's going to be graduating high school, and she doesn't even want to talk to people. Like, she rather text, all of that. So it's going to be interesting to see. That's why I think now, like, it's up to us to continue building those communication skills, because it is a skill set, right, to be able to
Yes.
communicate. So build it and teaching other people how to do it, because we're starting to see that it doesn't come as natural as it should.
So let
So
me tell you what I love about what you just said. What I love about what you just said is, to me, bridging the gap between um, generational eras, right? So there's different generations that right now are part of the real estate industry. So how do we bridge those gaps of generation within the real estate industry? And that's where I love. I can show down when it comes to social media. Like, that I have had to go through the pain and the suffering of learning about every technology that is out there, and every technology that I use. And so I love the fact that I have the resilience and I have the foresight of saying, okay, you know what? I've been in real estate 23 years, but guess what? The best is yet to come. So I'm going to be on all my social media platforms. I'm going to do my TikTok, my Instagram, my reel, my stories. I'm going to use my templates for my reels. I'm going to put music with my stories. I'm going to hook up the links. I'm going to do my lives. I'm going to do my interviews. I'm going to use Zoom. I'm going to use StreamYard. I'm going to use, every technology platform out there, and then some. And then there's people like yourself that are another generation of real estate that, you've already been used to technology, and you're like, Lucy, we could do this, we could do that. I'm like, let's do it, let's go. Then there's the even younger generation, like the high schoolers, that still don't understand that we will never, listen to me closely. I don't care how much AI, IE, APP, XYZ comes into the technology world. The human connection will never be replaced. The human connection will never be replaced. I believe it. I'm convinced of it. That settles it for me because I have seen it. Let me prove it to you. We were in Fort Lauderdale, and these people were talking about, automation and AI, and they were talking about bots and this, that, and the other, and how nowadays you message somebody and you don't even know if it's them responding or their bot.
right.
But they were also talking about events, and they were also talking about networking, and they were also talking about customer appreciation days, and they were also talking about meeting people where they're at and making that human connection. Nobody Nobody is going to replace the human connection, the human experience. Nobody. Not Zillow, not Pillow, not Willow. I don't care what name they come out with. It's not going to replace it. And that's where everybody has a winning opportunity. Because if you don't have $5,000 to buy leads, you know what? You got abilities that are worth $5 million to connect with people. And it's called reach out and touch someone, call somebody, show up at their door, introduce yourself, put on a good smile, be enthusiastic, connect with them at their level, serve them, be the person that shows up with that good vibe, that good energy. Don't have that sales breath talking about, you want a list? No, hello, don't even, hello. That is the most cheesy Mickey Mouse, Pluto conversation any realtor can have with a for sale by owner and an expired. Let me look. John Maxwell says it best, and this is where humans will never be replaced. I don't care how many people try, and there's a lot of people trying to replace humans. We will never be replaced because there's nothing better than the energy of collaboration. There's nothing better than being part of a tribe of trust. So John Maxwell says it this way: people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's why now that I'm boots on the ground, I said, you know what? What would it look like if I just decided to help everyone and anyone, regardless of who their broker is, regardless of what their logo looks like, regardless of what the name of their company looks like, as long as they have the humbleness, the transparency, and the vulnerability to raise their hand and say, can we talk? And that's exactly what's happened for the last 2 days with my post of open houses. I've been talking to people even today, and that has been like, wow, there's some amazing people out there that need help.
Yeah. I love all of this, and I can't wait to continue to work with you to break that culture that we keep talking about of agents, of the old ways of doing real estate. And even though it's okay, there's still some, very obviously it goes back to connecting with people, and that's what it is. So it's doing it in a different way, doing it more, modern and creative, and meeting people where they're at. I mean, this guy also talked about going to, a restaurant and sitting by yourself, right? And I was like, okay, I haven't heard that one yet. I was like, that's cool,
I love that. I love that. I told you I want to start implementing that. He said, I take one day out of the week and I pick 4 restaurants for one day out of the week, each week of the month. And I intentionally go out to a restaurant and I sit there and I do not leave without connecting with people. And he says, and I get business from there. So nobody's going to replace the human experience. Now, if I speak with, let's say that we ended up speaking with someone that is in their 20s and they want to be text, listen, my number one kind of text that I send people. What's my number one kind of text that I send people? Video text.
Video, yeah.
Video is, they say that a picture, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, video is worth 1,000,000 words. So if you're still one of those agents that are sending out, regular written text, you got to level up. So, there's just so much to learn, and I'm enjoying this new career that I have. I'm so happy to be in this arena on this side of the ocean, right? No more red ocean. It's only blue ocean of opportunities. And I'm excited about the people that are raising their hand. And we've got an amazing group of agents that are going to be helping us with our open houses. And they're so grateful. They're so, I guess, shocked that I would open up this opportunity, even though they're not part of Q International. And I said, why not? Why not? Who said we can't? Yes, we can.
It's almost like a foreign language. It's like they don't understand it. They can't wrap their heads around it. And that's interesting. That's interesting too to hear. I mean, when I was calling agents to invite them to one of our events, and I would tell them, hey, like, it doesn't matter the brand. You can just come and, it's no recruiting. We just want to connect with people. And, they were like really shocked to hear that. And I'm like, this is really foreign language. It's crazy.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people like us out there. There's a lot of open-minded people. There's a lot of people that have a spirit of collaboration. There's a lot of agents. I would actually say there's more people. And if you agree with us, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat and say yes. There's more people that have a spirit of collaboration and contribution than those that are filled with ego and don't want to share, don't want to open up their playbooks, that they feel that, I just want to be a lone wolf. And that's fine. Kudos to them. We need lone wolves as well. But I prefer to be around the people. I prefer to be around a community, a tribe of trust. I enjoy, it has such a good feeling. It has such a good feeling when you mastermind. And for me, I learned this a long time ago. I'm a get by giver. I'm a get by giving kind of person. That's just me. That's how I'm wired. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's been my secret sauce all my life. I'm a get by giving kind of person. And now more than ever, because I come from that world of, rivals. There's so many rivals in our industry. I mean, if your logo's, gold, and if your logo's red, and if your logo is blue, and if your logo is different than mine, or if your company is different than mine, or if what would happen if brokers started reaching down and helping other agents? What would happen? I mean, I wonder, and I challenge brokers to look outside their office and say, who can I help today? Who's out there that I can, pay it forward, man? Everybody thinks like they got into this business knowing it all. Like I see some people thinking they're all that in a bag of chips. I'm like, did you forget? Did you forget when you didn't know? But to each his own.
That's right. Well, I've enjoyed this conversation, Lucy. I think this was good, and I'm so excited for tomorrow's to bring back, another episode of Agents in the Trenches. And I think if anyone needs help, I right now I just want to invite you to either reach out to myself or Lucy, and you see what we can do to collaborate together. We're opening up doors here at Q International, and like Lucy says, I mean, we have open houses that we can host, and we're looking to find more agents that are open-minded to it. So yeah, if you want to know more information, reach out
To us. I mean, you've got nothing to lose. If you're open-minded, if you align with our energy, with our spirit, with our vibe, if you're one of those people that believe in collaboration and contribution, and if you're a broker and you want to be part of the solution. There's a lot of problems in our market right now. I don't care who we talk to, they're all feeling the struggle. So if you're a broker and you're like, Lucy, I want to be part of the solution, I want to pay it forward as well. I'm one of those people that remembers when I didn't know and someone came and helped me. Let's have a conversation and let's see how we can help our industry together. Bye, Talia. Bye, everyone. Love talking to you.